hardest way to see you.
Hey YouTube, what's with it, what's poppin'? Welcome back to the Kayla. It's yours truly, the best Kayla, and today I'm back with another video. As y'all seen from that title, try to get a thumbnail. As y'all seen from that title, now I'm about to be talking about basic training. In my reception video, I tried to cover as much as possible without dragging it out. But basically, like I ended my reception video with, we got issued everything. This laundry basket is a perfect example of one of the things we got issued. We got issued 2 of these green laundry bags, and I still use it to this day. So as y'all see, everything you get issued, it would definitely come in handy for you, especially if you're active duty, I'm assuming. And we had like 2 green duffel bags. We had just a whole lot of stuff that we were issued in reception. A whole lot. The boots, everything. You got 2 pairs of the standard issue boots. You got 2 green duffels, 2 laundry baskets. 2 laundry bags, 2 sets of OCPs. So total 2 sets of like the hot weather OCPs and the cold weather OCPs. You got cold weather gear. Y'all, you just got issued everything in reception. So now let's go into detail a little more about basic. So when we had to walk all the way to our battery. Okay, it was so excruciating. That was like our first rug. I don't care what nobody says. So we had to walk all the way to our battery. When we got to our battery, we mind y'all, also at reception, when our drills got there, we got split up. I don't know if I said this, but we got split up by our last names. So it was like A through whatever, first platoon, then second platoon, third platoon, fourth platoon. So yes, we got split up by our last names. So that's how our platoons went. And when we got there, I remember we went and formed up. Also at reception, you had a kill zone. It was painted red. You couldn't walk on it. At basic, we also had a kill zone that was painted and we could not walk on it. So many memories about the kill zone. Like I remember in particular, drill sergeants used to throw things on there because they knew we couldn't walk on there. So we would have to go get brooms and try to sweep. Like for one instance, this drill had threw our kecks on there, and we had to literally we couldn't walk on there, so we had to go get brooms and sweep the kecks to us. Y'all, they did so much disrespectful stuff at basic to us. Like it was so like, why are you treating us like this? But it happened. So when we first got there, I remember, like I told y'all, everything was loaded up on the 4 platoon trucks. All of our big green duffels were. So I remember they just had told a couple of trainees to get up there and just throw them down. And our nameplate, we had name tags on everything. Our nameplate was inside of our duffel, so we wouldn't get them confused with anybody else's because they're all the same color, the same exact size or whatever. So I remember I saw videos about people getting shark attacked or whatever. We did not get shark attacked. We were yelled at all throughout the time that we were there. So I remember when we first got there, we formed up or whatever, and then we all had to go run and get our bags. It was so chaotic because nothing was in order. So everybody was just going through duffels, tossing them around, trying to hurry up and find theirs. It was just really chaotic. Basic was full of chaos. They loved the chaos. So we were given name tags or whatever. I still have these. Y'all still have all of this stuff. So as y'all see, I did not use all of them. I just used a few of them, and the ones that are still on here clearly are the ones that I didn't use. With these name tags, you put your name on your gear. So you put your name on your camel bag, you put your name on your ACH, your name on your freaking flick, your freaking what's it called, your assault pack, your rug. We put our names on everything, and this was really to prevent thieves. Another thing I forgot in my reception video is people are thieves. You probably would think that they wouldn't steal. I knew for a fact that they would steal. You have to buy locks also. Pack a lock, pack like two locks just for your comfort, but you have to buy locks because people will steal your things. If you leave your locker unopened, if you leave your locker unlocked, or if you leave your bag sitting around, people will steal it. Like when I tell you, we had so many instances where girls would steal other girls' clothes. Child, they was so nasty to the point they was stealing other girls' panties. Child, disgusting, right? I know, but you have to have your stuff locked up. So the name tapes were really for us to really prevent thieves. So, and when we put the name tape on, we wrap it in thick tape, and it will be wrapped in our platoon color. For instance, my platoon color was blue, so we had blue tape. I was in 4th platoon because my last name starts with an S. So yeah, I don't know if everybody does it like that, y'all, but I just know in particular 4th SEAL Charlie Battery did that. Charlie 118, I know we did that. So I don't know if everybody goes by last names. I'm assuming maybe so, but I know for sure we did, and I feel like everybody does because it's just the organized thing to do. But you do have these. So I kind of was writing while I was there, y'all. I was writing everything because I was like, I knew I wanted to do this video, so I knew that I wanted to write like little key points or little highlights. When you get to basic, everything is going to be on this bulletin board for y'all for your whole cycle. At least for mine. At least I think the other ones are like this. Everything is going to be on that bulletin board from the moment you get there to the moment you leave basic training, to the moment you're going to graduate and get ready for AIT. I went, like I said, during November. My cycle started November 16th. That's when reception officially started, to February like 15th-ish. I kind of recommend that you go around that time because we got holiday leave, which knocked off 2 weeks of our cycle. So everything was really like condensed, but it was 10 times better because we got to go back home to see our families. Some people said they wouldn't want to go to a cycle where they could go home for leave. I'm like, don't hate on us because we did. So I kind of recommend y'all go from like November to February. And I really feel like, yeah, I feel like that's the best cycle. Even though it was freezing cold in Fort Sill, like I said, we got to go home. So that was a huge plus for us. We got to go home for like 2 weeks. So I was happy about that. I was super excited about that. I was so happy to go home. But you would change so much. Before I got there, basically, my skin was clear. I was feeling good. I kept my hair done, everything like that. But when I got there, like, you're literally at a farm where it's crazy that people even still try to talk to people while in basic training, because it's like all of us look throwed off. Like, all of us not having our hair done. Like, you have hair done sometimes, but you're doing so much strenuous activities that your hair doesn't stay done. And the female drills, they were really tough on the girls about that, by having flyaways. It was like, oh, you have to look presentable even though you're in basic. Like, they used to come to the female bait all the time, like trying to give tips on how to keep your ponytail to stay all day, how to do this, how to do that. I'm like, first of all, we going up and down stairs all day. We taking we taking our hat off, our PC off all day, putting on all day. Then, like I said, we was in a winter cycle, so when they finally let us wear our fleece hats, we taking that off and on all day. And if y'all know, like, if you're in the army and you a female, you know how that fleece hat feels. And then taking it off, you're pulling your hair up, like, regardless. When you constantly sweating, you constantly running around, and it's the winter, like I said, y'all, it's really impossible to keep your hair looking good all day, like, literally. So I remember also when we first got there, the drills, they took us up to the female base. So the females, we had 60 females starting off, but that was really a small amount. We had like 2 or 3 male bays compared to, yeah, we had 3 male bays and 1 female bay. One other thing, females, we always gonna be outnumbered. That's why it really was like bothering everybody that the females couldn't really get along, because we're always outnumbered, but we're never the ones who come together and get along. It was so crazy. But 3 male bays, 1 female bay. 60 girls was in there. When we first got in there, Drill Sergeant Tucker, I remember, and Drill Sergeant Barton, they literally came up there, and because the female bay was the first platoon bay, so they was first platoon, like, drills. So they came up there yelling at us. They came up there and we all was just standing there, and then they started pointing to beds and stuff, like drill sergeant. So she was pointing to beds and she was like, okay, you go here, you go here, you go here, type stuff. So they were putting everybody on the bunks. The way it was is you have the top bunk and you have the lower bunk. So I was hoping that I didn't get a top bunk because I was really afraid of heights. But I got over there real quick because I was like, girl, it ain't nothing. So I got the top bunk. And the way we were in the bay as well is we had a kill zone in the bay that we couldn't step on unless we was cleaning it. It was just kill zones everywhere, y'all. So you couldn't step on the kill zone unless you was cleaning the kill zone. And then we had like, everybody was lined up. We had like 1st platoon girls, 2nd platoon girls, 3rd platoon girls, and then 4th platoon girls. So that's how we was sleeping in the bay. And 60 females in the bay, just imagine that chaos. Like, when I tell y'all, it was horrible. Like I said, you had thieves in basic, you had nasty girls, y'all, it was heavy on the nasty girls. We all had to share showers, of course. Females would leave their tampons in the restrooms just open, their pads just open. They would just leave it on the ground. It was nasty, y'all. Just grown adults, and none of them was really young. Like, everybody was full grown. So I'm like, the way y'all acting is wild. When we first got in there, they gave us like, I think 8 to 10 minutes for 60 girls to shower. And when I tell y'all, it was mind games from the jump. My whole mindset was, I'm not finna play mind games with them. Like, I'm just gonna chill. Y'all, tell me why those girls, when they told us we had like 8 to 10 minutes to shower for 60 girls to shower, they was like, oh, y'all finna have 30 seconds in the shower, 20, like some stupid amount that did not make sense. They was like, because everybody needs to shower. They was like, when we come back in, if y'all not in I think we were supposed to be in our beds. They was like, if y'all not in the bed, it's something time. I know it was something wild. So I remember the girls was running to the shower, y'all, acting like they just, wow. Girl, me and my friends that I had finally made when I was there, we was like, man, we gonna just wait till tomorrow. We was like, it ain't even worth it, because 60 females trying to go in this bathroom in 8 minutes, and them folks said they finna come back in here, and they literally meant that. Like, and I feel like they didn't even leave out. I feel like they stayed in there and just was laughing at the chaos. They just was laughing like it was amusement to them, like, for real. So we was just like, man, we ain't even finna do that today. Like, it ain't even worth it. Like, we wanted to shower, don't get me wrong, because we was sitting outside the entire day. Like I told y'all, we was literally at reception with our bags. All of it was so uniform, y'all. Everything was so uniform. Like, think about hundreds of bags all lined up neatly together, and we were sitting behind our bags. And like I said, it was all day. It was cold outside, but sitting in OCPs all day, like, not being able to move unless you go into the restroom or something, like, that's real irritating, and you be sweating. So we wanted to shower, but we was like, it ain't even worth it. Like, it don't make sense to. So this is something that I wrote down. I was writing so much in basic. Also, I recommend that y'all take pens, paper, notebooks, not nothing too big. You can buy stuff there, but y'all, another thing, the PX, maybe, I know it's because we Chinese, because, well, the PX just, I don't know, because our PX I don't know if the price is jacked up like that. I be going in there and I don't feel like it is, but in basic, y'all, something like this would be like $6, y'all. Something like this, something small like this. But I had bought my own little notebook, but it didn't have like the stuff that I could tear, so that's the only reason I bought this. But yes, this is my notebook from basic. When I tell y'all, if you anything like me and you're a writer, or if you not even a writer, when you got your free time, you're gonna want to do something to keep yourself occupied. You're gonna want to do something to keep you sane in the midst of all the chaos. And I also had this at church there, they have these little Bibles sitting there, y'all. I had to give me one. I had to. That kept me sane. Also, writing kept me sane. When I tell y'all, I wrote in my diary every freaking day there. And I also, what a lot of us did was we did these BCT countdown calendars. So when did I graduate? Okay, so I graduated on the 10th of February, probably like But I think I left like a 13th or 14th. I don't know when I left, y'all, for AIT, but I know that it was one of those. But yeah, we all had created us these little calendars. This was just our way to be sane, y'all. This was our way to be like, bruh, like, we getting through this. I had so much stuff on all of these pages, y'all. Like, I had to keep encouraging myself every day, because you can be a holdover in the process, and so that means you just stay there months after your cycle leaves. Like, and we was getting people who had got hurt. We had got this one boy who had did his whole cycle. He was in blue phase, because oh yeah, that's the thing, you have red, white, and blue phase. Red phase is the hardest phase. But when I tell y'all, every single thing that was going down, I was like, when is it gonna get hard? That's just my mindset. And like I said, you had people who was crying, who was like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. But I'm like, baby, I'm a hard body or something, because I'm not threatened by nothing. The drill sergeants, they yelled in my face or whatever, I'm sitting there like
she not talking to me.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the process is supposed to, it's meant to break you and then build you back up. But when I tell y'all, it's just like we got broken, and there was no building back up. Like I saw other people's videos like, oh, we started having blunts with our drill sergeants and in blue phase. Y'all, we didn't have that with our drill sergeants. Like, no, we really didn't. I was shocked that our drill sergeants was even signing our books when we was leaving. Like, some of them was, but like the bonding, all that type of stuff, no, it was hard on us, like from jump. Like from jump, and it stayed hard. I wrote a prayer every night. I was still writing my poems, just connecting with myself even more, because when I tell you, you only sleep, breathe, use the restroom, do all this strenuous stuff, sleep, breathe, do all this strenuous stuff. And we had fire guard. For fire guard, you stay up for like an hour. You stay up for like an hour with a battle buddy. That's another thing. I don't know, I forgot that. Battle buddy is your new name too. You have to have a battle buddy to go everywhere. If you are going to the restroom, you gotta have a battle buddy. If you are, yeah, if you do whatever, if it involves you moving, you have to have a battle buddy. Like, to go talk to a drill sergeant, you have to have a battle buddy. And I understand the battle buddy thing, because it can definitely like help us or whatever. But also, sometimes I hate having a battle buddy. When I get in my AIT video, I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm gonna tell y'all why I hated having one in AIT. But in basic, I hated having one, but I really understood why. Yeah, I really understood why, because we had like a moment in basic where we had this drill sergeant who had came from another whole nother like battery or whatever, and he was like trying to touch on trainees and stuff. So yeah, it got real. So but yeah, I just kept this little notebook. So I encourage everybody to get a notebook and keep yourself sane in some type of way, whatever way you know how. Keep yourself sane. We were able to write letters and send letters. We were able to send letters and receive letters, so that's another thing that kept us sane. We were able to get our phone like on some Sundays. Sometimes there would be some drama going on, so we weren't allowed to get our phones. And then when we did get our phones out, it was like 30 minutes to an hour. It was nothing special. So it was like, if you trying to talk to your family and catch them up on the little things, and they trying to catch you up on the little things, 30 minutes feels like 2 seconds. I'm not even lying to y'all. So we were able to get our phones some Sundays. Literally some Sundays. Literally. It was not every Sunday. So Friday, December 10th, 2021, I had wrote that we transitioned to white phase. Honestly, we were in red phase. It felt like forever, and then like everybody just, it was all over the place. So it was just crazy. So I said we walked 2 miles, because that was our first ever ruck. Our first ever ruck was a 2-mile ruck. Then we walked 6 miles for the hammer to end red phase. So every phase when we progressed, we walked extra miles. So we did 2 ACFTs red phase. I passed, but I didn't pass them completely because I did not pass my run. That run used to take me out. So that's another thing too about basic training. One thing I would say is, y'all, make sure you can just be fit and make sure you can just pass. Like, even though I say that, you have people who is failing entirely, y'all, and they still progress. So I thought that you were supposed to pass everything in order to graduate, but girl, you have people failing and they still was going on to the next thing. But try your best to be active, try your best to excel, and stuff like that will get you recognized. I wish that I would have had more time to like perfect myself before joining, but I literally had to leave like 2 weeks after I decided to choose my MOS. So I was really sad about that, but I'm trying to work on myself even more now. We went down a 50-foot rope. Oh my gosh, we climbed up first and then we had to go down 50 foot, and it was really high, y'all, in Forest Hill. So we had Treadwell Tower that was like in red face, and we had the 50-foot rope. When I tell y'all I was scared for my life, I never did nothing like that. I don't know how I did it, y'all, but my battles was down in the tram for me, so that kind of helped a little bit. But I was so nervous, I was so scared. I never did nothing like that. And so I said climb the tower with 2 different staircases, maybe 42 to 50 inches tall. One staircase was tricky, definitely. So throughout our cycle, like I said, it was super cold and it was also super windy. So sometimes stuff would get canceled for us, and I would just be so excited because I was like, bruh, like sometimes the wind was blowing too hard. We had like really high things to go up, and they was like, okay, that's just too dangerous for the way the wind is moving. The trainees can't do it. So I was really happy when it happened. But a lot of stuff we did do, like a lot of the obstacle courses and stuff. One thing I will say is I had a drill sergeant Duplan, who was, he had his days, I must say, but he on the good days that we had with him, like if the females, like we had high walls and stuff to go over in obstacle courses. One thing about our platoon was he encouraged the males to help us out. You know, he was always telling them like, these y'all sisters, and I miss him for that. Like, you know, like I said, he had his days though where he was like, you know, hey, you need to chill, drill sergeant. But other than that, he had times where he would be like, hey, come and help her out, like, you know, get on the knee for her, let her step on you type stuff, and let her climb over, because he saw how hard it was for some of the females versus some of the males, like, you know, because a lot of them were like taller, they were bigger, buffer, all that type of stuff. Like, he wasn't babying us, but you know what I'm saying, like he was messing us a little bit, like to the point like if it makes sense to help them out, you know. So I miss him for that when we was on our obstacle courses. And then so I said got yelled at the defect on red face. Some people had to stand and say, food tastes better with my feet and knees together. Okay, this was so funny to me. So when we were at the defect during red face, we literally had to go in there, and once we sat down, we had to have our heels together and our hands flat on us. That was sitting at attention. We had to sit at attention in the defect. And if they saw your heels not together, it was over for you. They literally would make you get up and yell, food tastes better with my feet and heels together. Food tastes better with my feet and heels together. It would be funny in the moment, but it would just be like, bro, please don't let that ever be me. When I tell y'all, if I felt myself not doing it, I used to hurry up and do it. Because they used to come around picking at us. They used to come around trying to see if your feet and heels weren't together. Like, they was so petty like that, to the point they was really trying to see that. We also had a table in the defect that we couldn't walk by. I remember a dude had walked by one time. The drill sergeant turned up on him, and he was like, you disrespected my fallen soldiers, blah, blah, blah. He was going in on him. That's all I know. And so it was funny at the time. I was just hoping that it was never me in the situation, but it was just like, it wasn't even too funny at the time, y'all. It was kind of like messed up, because it was like, why y'all doing us like this? Like, we couldn't make eye contact with them. When we were in line, we had to do facing movements to move through the line, right face, left face, about face, and they would just be watching. They would be watching, waiting for us to mess up on something so they could yell at us. It was pure chaos. Like, when I tell y'all, it was pure chaos. Like, sometimes you had Chinese running into each other, because I wasn't scared of them, but it was just like, they was intimidating. Like I'm saying, like, they was real intimidating. So it was just like, and when they was right there watching you, it was so hard not to mess up because all that pressure is put on you. You know what I'm saying? And then like in some instances, I remember sometimes it happened to me, like I didn't get really yelled at that much, but I remember I had this one girl, I forgot her name. She was so mean, but I remember I had messed up on her face movement. I just knew it was over with. She was like, go back, trainee, go back right now. It was just pure chaos, y'all. So she told me to go back, and I was getting my drink, and I had to keep doing it because I had to do a freaking about face, and I was doing it wrong. I was nervous, y'all, because I was like, she's right here, like, and she was just looking at everybody trying to see who was gonna mess up. One thing I can say is that's why a lot of people are super disciplined, because of what we go through in basic. That is why, like, everything is super tedious, everything is like super, that's I think when people be like, oh, I miss the army or whatever, I don't really think they miss like the stuff that we have to do. I feel like a lot of people miss the structure and the stuff like that. I mean, that's just an opinion of mine. But yeah, at the defect, and you had to have, once you sat down with your food, you had to have your head in your lap the entire time you was eating. If you looked up, you was done for. If you looked up, you was done for. Another thing in red phase, the drills were in there, like they stood in there the whole entire time. We went in platoon order, so I mean, yeah, example, we went from like the order to go in the defect, it was first, second, third, fourth. Then it would be second, third, fourth, first, third, fourth, first, second. Y'all get what I'm saying? Fourth platoon, in my opinion, I was fourth platoon. We got it the worst, and it ain't just because it was my platoon. We got it the worst for the simple fact, when we had hot aids, like that was when they brought the food to us and we didn't go to the defect. Fun fact, I hated when we had that, because like I said, fourth platoon, we really never got no food when it was hot aids, like ever. People used to mess with their platoon, get up platoon, multiple things, so when they got to us, we was barely having food to eat. And then I remember when we got to the defect, like we was always rushed because we was the last platoon. Everybody else would be out there in the cold standing waiting for us, and it's just like, why y'all rushing us? Like, y'all had plenty of time to eat. In my opinion, they was always getting more time to eat than us, but I ain't gonna talk about it too much. But yeah, fourth platoon, we used to get hated on, I ain't gonna lie. Fourth platoon females especially, that's I'm telling y'all. So then I said, remember, everything your drills tell you is for a reason, literally. Yeah, that was just a huge one. Like, everything that they told us was literally for a reason. Like, when we was doing drills, when we was doing stuff, little stuff that they was giving us little information, everything that they tell you is for a reason. And when I tell you, I don't know how it is for reserves and stuff once they're done, but I do know for active duty, bro, everything we did in training is what we do in the army. Everything we did in training is what you do at your unit. I am currently in my unit, and everything that we did, we do it at our unit. Then I said, did 2 CLCs. CLCs is combat obstacle courses. In red phase, they included low crawling, high crawling, monkey bars, running through barrel bricks, jumping mazes, climbing over walls, rolling over logs. Oh my gosh, that stuff used to get on my nerves. Balancing on walls, climbing on inverted walls, balancing on logs, etc. Y'all, that stuff used to get on my nerves. Like, it was very much chaos. It was chaotic though. Everything about basic was chaos. Then I said, red phase is supposed to break you and get you into the soldier mindsets. Luckily, if you're already super strong-minded, it won't take much to get you there, and red phase won't affect you as much, or may not even affect you at all. Heavy on that, because like I said, when other people was like, oh, this is really bothering me, this is too much, this is a lot on me, I was like smiling through it. I was like, bruh, maybe I'm just, like I said, used to it or a bit different, you know. I was just like, this ain't nothing to a G, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I felt. Like, that's just how I felt. Then I said, where you go, your weapon goes. Oh my gosh, this is a big thing. This is like really about accountability as well. When we got issued our weapons, we started on our weapons actually, I think in white phase. That's when we started having to like go to the range and qualify on our weapons and stuff like that. So when we had our weapons in our possession, where you went, your weapon went. Okay? When you went to the bathroom, like when we was at the range and we went to the bathroom, your weapon had to go with you and your battle buddy. Both of y'all weapons had to go. And yo, it was like everything was, bro, everything is about discipline. It's about uniformity. Everything is about something. When we used to go to the bathroom, we used to have to take a knee, our battle buddies' weapons in front of us and our weapon on us. And then when they came out and we switched, you switch. When I tell y'all, everything is about discipline, integrity, bro. Everything is just about discipline and stuff. I'm on 30 minutes. I'm wild. And so then I said this a few minutes ago. I said we have holiday block leave from the 17th of December to the 4th of January. So we are kind of condensed. Not really, but yeah. So like I said, we were kind of condensed. And holiday block leave for us was December 17th to January 4th. 6 days before my birthday. I turned 20 in basic. Yeah. And so then I said, the good thing is in your bay they have every single event plus timeline of what you are going to do throughout basic. Excuse me, y'all. I said this as well, y'all. And so that kind of helps you get by too, because you kind of looking at the days and you kind of like, okay, once I get through this, I got to go through this. Once I get through that, I got to go through that, blah, 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 blah. And then I said it actually goes by pretty fast because you're so busy all the time. However, it does not mean you won't miss home and your family and friends. Yeah, so this is very true. It really goes by super fast because you're always so busy. And when you're in the moment, you kind of don't think that, but like once you're about to graduate, you kind of sit back and be like, bruh, I just really got through all of this. And yeah, I don't know where my freaking face is, my what you call doing this. But yeah, so like I said, and we went during a winter cycle, so it was freezing cold. So when we were doing our little activities, like you had 3 major events that you did while in basic. We had the hammer, we had the forge, and the anvil. And they were all 3 major events that you had to complete, and there were rooks involved with them. When we were doing that, y'all, when we were learning the simple things that we were supposed to learn, when I tell y'all, we were freezing. We were outside in the cold, shivering, outside in the cold, couldn't function, couldn't feel our toes, couldn't feel our fingers. Bro, you could not feel anything. It was so horrible. Like it was beyond horrible. And like I said, they was not allowing us to wear our sniffle gear. They was hating on us too bad. So it was horrible. A tip that I wrote, I said, if you're already dealing with a toxic situation of any kind, it's imperative that you detach yourself from this situation or someone before coming to basic. I said that because there were some females who were going through some things up in there, who were like going through toxic situations, dealing with toxic people, and they brought all of that to basic with them. So it was really hard for some of them to like do simple things because that stuff was always on their mind. So that's just a piece of advice. And then I said, back to the defect. First, I was always thinking the yelling was a bit much, but when you enter white phase, it all makes sense, and you're disciplined and trained on how to conduct yourself while in there without your drills. Heavy on that. So we kind of got a little more freedom in white phase when we transitioned to white phase, because you kind of just had to show that you were able to do things by yourself. White phase was when they introduced, hold on, was that white phase or blue phase? I think white phase was when they introduced PGs and APGs. PGs were platoon guys and APGs were assistant platoon guys. So it was really, your drill was still there, but they was kind of letting the trainees run the show. In my opinion, a lot of the APGs and PGs were chosen off of favoritism, because yes, that is a thing. Drills do have favorites. That can kind of be nerve-wracking a little bit, but you get through it, how you live and go on. But drills do have favorites. White phase also was when we were introduced to what is it called, the little songs. Dang, y'all, how can I forget what they called, bro? We was introduced to like cadences. We were introduced to cadences. So like one of my favorite was oh no, Oh no, I gotta leave, I gotta go, I gotta leave, I gotta go. This army life is crazy, this army life is crazy. It got me, it got me, it got me missing my baby. So we were introduced to cadences. And another one of my favorite was M4A1, M4A1, locked, cocked, and loaded, locked, cocked, and loaded. That was like another one of my favorites. So cadences, 4th platoon, we were always complimented on our cadences because it sounded really good. And yo, I remember one time we had like this cadence competition, and that was so fun. Like that was probably one of the funnest things the drills ever let us do. It was really fun. But yeah, so we started learning cadences and stuff like that, and that was it. And then I said we get 15 minutes to eat, and it makes it no better when everyone around you is rushing and gets done before you. Oh my gosh, this was so funny to me. So we had 15 minutes to hurry up and eat. So when I tell y'all, when we sat down, it was go time. Like when I tell you I never ate like that in my life, I had to stuff my mouth. Like, bro, it was so horrible. Like, and we couldn't have snacks and stuff in basic. So people used to sneak snacks and all that type of stuff. It was called contraband. People used to sneak contraband back to the bay and stuff, like putting it in their pants, putting it just everywhere they could think of to put it in. So we had 15 minutes. So sometimes I couldn't even, I ain't gonna, to be real with y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I can't tell y'all one time in basic where I got to finish my meal. I was sad in basic, I ain't gonna lie. I was real sad. And then people would rush and eat before you and be done. And so if they see everybody at your table and they be like, get up, they don't care. So I can't tell y'all the time I finished my plate. I used to be so mad. Then I said, if you share the same last name with others, I will be in the same platoon. Yes, yeah. So like it was like 5 different Smiths. So all of us was in the same platoon. So yeah, say I had 4 Smiths in mine, including myself. So 5 of us, like I said. Sundays are probably going to be your most chill days. We had church and self-reflection and sometimes phone time. And then I said the boys were freezing. No heat was turned on ever. The bays were freezing. No heat was turned on ever. Yes, so we went, like I said, we went on a winter cycle. No heat was turned on for us at all. So we were in there just freezing. And Sundays, you got the option to either go to church. If you didn't go to church, most of us tried to hurry up and wash our clothes, you know, for the following week, all that type of stuff. Yeah, it was just, like I said, it was pretty much just chaos. They try to make basic as chaotic as possible, okay? As chaotic as possible. It was so much fighting, so much disagreements. We probably had maybe, how many, probably 10 or 15 showers for 60 girls. So we would all try to rush upstairs and try to go shower before everybody else, because sometimes the water would get cold if you wait till the last minute. We all had to have our beds still like reception, so still like the hospital fold. We had a green blanket, 2 sheets, 1 pillowcase on our beds, and they had to be identical or they would mess up our beds and trash the bay. If you left trash in the restroom, once it's time for you to be downstairs, they would come up there and throw the trash all over your bay, and you would have to go clean it up whenever you got back up there. So trash had to be taken out every day. The person, how we did it was, the people with the last fire guard shift would be the ones to take out the trash and stuff. So if they didn't do it, then the whole bay would get in trouble. What else? I'm trying to think of everything. We got so smart to the point, y'all, we got tired of fixing them beds. We started sleeping in our sleeping bags. We weren't supposed to, but we did it. So we would have our beds made up, and then we would put our sleeping bag and then just get in that joint. And when we got up in the morning, it was just easy to toss the sleeping bag in the locker and make sure your locker was locked, because if it was a mess and they saw it, they was gonna throw your whole locker out. Like I said, if you have different color underwear and stuff, like that's not white or black, then, and you leave your locker unlocked, you just a fool. One girl had a purple bra one time, and she left her locker unlocked. When we came back into the bay, her stuff was all over the bay. They do not care out there. One thing about basic training, I'm at 39 minutes, okay. One thing about basic training is they are very disrespectful. They're going to throw your things all over. If your stuff is unlocked, they don't care about dirty panties, dirty bras, dirty nothing. They're going to throw it all across the bay. If you leave your stuff unsecured, that's what they say. They going to trash it, like for real. And you had females still leaving their stuff unsecure. I'm like, why'd you doing it? Like, did you not learn? So like, girl, lock yourself up. When people were stealing, they would come up there and we would get in trouble. We have to toe the line at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Toe the line means everybody is out of their bunks, everybody out the restroom, everybody fully dressed on the line waiting for the drill sergeant to come in. We would have girls who would be lying on other females. It was pretty chaos. I might do another part telling y'all about the chaos, but let me finish telling y'all about this. So when we were in Whiteface, I said, do not worry if you do not know the Army song or the Soldier's Creed. You will say them every day so you'll learn. Yes, that is so huge. See, I'm glad I wrote this stuff down. When you are there, I didn't know the Army song, the Soldier's Creed. I didn't know nothing before I went to basic. I was trying to learn, but like I said, I had 2 weeks, so I really didn't have time to do anything. Every morning, once we go down there, you have to say the Soldier's Creed and the Army song. The drills will say the Soldier's Creed, and then we'll repeat the Soldier's Creed. Then I'm an American soldier, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, they'll say the Army song, and then we'll say the Army song. Then we'll say march along, sing a song, and then go on and on. And we did this every single morning. Every single morning we did this. I kid y'all not, every single morning. So that's how we learned. Of course, we had a first sergeant and a commander while in basic, and when the commander would come, we would have to say, so like the way we were on the drill pad is we were like this, put us like this. We had first platoon, third platoon, fourth platoon, second platoon. So whenever the commander, as soon as they walk on there, whenever the commander would come on the drill pad, if we did not say battery attention, like a training had to say battery attention, everybody went to attention, and then one person, the person who tells us to go to attention, has to be like, good morning, ma'am. And then when she says good morning, they drop their salute. And then when first sergeant used to come on the drill pad, we used to have to say Eddies, Eddies, and then he'll say carry on, and then we'll just go back. So it's all about discipline. So first sergeant and any drill, we used to have to yell Eddies. Like one person, if the one person that sees them says Eddies, and everybody says Eddies, and then they say carry on. And then if you forget, if the drills get so far on the drill pad and y'all forget to say it, battery attention, friendly rest position, move. There was so many times where I'm like, a lot of y'all where we forgot. Like we had like short drill sergeants, so some of them would be coming and we would not, they look like us, so like they would get all the way on the drill pad, then we'll see a taller drill sergeant, and then we'll say Eddies, and then the short drill sergeant turn around and be like, oh, F me, huh? F me, huh? Friendly reposition, move. Like it was most of the females sometimes who would just be like, F me, huh? F me, huh? It's like, we need to see you though. So yeah, that was funny. We used to always have to yell Eddies and attention. Oh my gosh, you're gonna hear that so much. And so I said people literally steal, definitely. We got our M4s and taped them our platoon colors. So yes, like I said, everything was taped. Whiteface, we began by going to ranges. We zeroed our weapons, then did the new weapon qualification. We did 4 positions: standing, prone, unsupported, prone, supported, and kneeling in basic. And then I said every day was range days. We got held back from Blueface for a while due to people sneaking in contraband. So like I said, contraband was the snacks and stuff like that. Yeah, Whiteface was really about qualifying your weapon and shooting. And then I said January 22nd we worked out all day and night, and on the 21st because people couldn't get their acts together. So yes, our drill sergeant had us going upstairs. I remember we had this point in time where we had these little challenges where we would have like a couple minutes to go upstairs and change and get into full OCPs, come down to full OCPs, go upstairs and change, get into full winter PTs, go back, get into this and that. And they used to be checking to see if you got on the right socks, the right everything, see if you got on your, both shirts that you're supposed to have on, and your jacket and your fleece and your hats, so and your gloves. And a lot of the males would not have on the right thing, so we would get corrective action, super freaking tired, drenched in sweat, and then we had to run back upstairs. Excuse me, y'all. We had to run back upstairs and do it all over again. So we had did that for one night. We did that for probably like an hour that night. I was so freaking tired and mad, y'all. Whenever we was losing our sleep over somebody else, because like I said, it was mass punishment. But that was the worst thing ever. We had to literally go up and change, come back down, go up and change again, come back down. Like, we had some petty drill sergeants around. And then I remember another time we was getting corrective action. Our drill was like, oh, I'm going to make y'all bring the beds downstairs and come back and take them up there. Like, bruh, it was pure chaos. And I tell y'all, basic was pure chaos. And like I said, you had to run everywhere. So just imagine hundreds of people trying to run up the stairs. But since we only had one female babe, we only had one entrance and exit for the female babe. So all of us tried to run there. It was people pushing people. When I tell y'all, it was just so much chaos. Then I said, we did the anvil and we were freezing literally. Yes, so that was in Whiteface. The rugs are officially the worst part of BCT for me. And then I said I hate working because I really hate working. It hurts so bad. And then I said we qualified our CCOs. I did mine on the first day. It was much easier than iron sights. Iron sights were much harder than CCOs. CCOs have a little red lens, so it's very much easier to shoot. And then, like I said, we got delayed from Blueface because it was so much going on. And then there was so much like drama. And I remember this girl had lied on me. So I ain't even credit we got delayed from Blueface because it don't matter. We were still gonna graduate on time. I remember I went and told on her that she had some contraband. Because she wanted to go around lying on me. So guess what I said? So who can play that game? So I remember I told her that she had contraband. And the girls had got into like a little tussle. And they all was like, oh, if people start running their mouths, we can get our phones. And I was like, who are you talking about? I remember it was just so much mess. Like, it was so much drama. Females are just so catty and so messy. Like, for females, your whole experience is going to be mess. Like, the bay is going to be filled with mess. It's going to be filled with nasty girls. It's going to be filled with just attitudes. And it's going to be filled with people lying on you. When I tell y'all, it's going to be filled with people lying on you, with people telling the drills everything that's going on. The males were upstairs basically killing each other, and nothing got back to the drills. But for us, even if you tickle somebody, oh, it was getting back to the drills. Oh, yeah, you were going to, the drills were waiting to hear about it. Finally, when we were graduating, I have my little thing from SILL. This is like our little, what is this called? Pamphlet or something, I don't know. Then I got my diploma from basic. I was just a little private, a little fuzzy, and then I got this. I bought this. So they do give you many opportunities at the end of your cycle to buy things. So I bought like a hoodie, I bought a shirt. I bought this stuff for the memories, to be honest. Half of these pictures in here, it's not even gonna be people from your cycle, y'all. It's gonna be other folks. But yeah, so I got this. And so yeah, okay, so this had the platoon name. So first platoon was called Spartans, second was War Pandas, third was Reapers, and then fourthly was the Romans. Okay, so you had a lot of privates, y'all, a lot of PV1s. You had a lot of PV1s, but you had those few specialists and stuff too. Also, when I went to the range for my first time, I definitely got my first range card ever. I remember my drill sergeant told me I was a killer. I said, thank you, drill sergeant. But yeah, so this was like when I first shot. Then I started going all over the place. He was like, I thought you was a killer. And I was like, I am drill sergeant. But yeah, so we had the 0-eye weapons. I still got this. Like I said, I really was carrying this everywhere because I was trying to learn, even though we said it every morning. I bought pictures because you got the option to buy pictures, and also you got the option to buy a big platoon picture. Let me see if I got that in here. I know it's somewhere. Okay, I do got it in here. So let me show y'all. And I had people from my platoon sign mine. So yes, this is my platoon picture. Let me show y'all my drill sergeants. All of my drills wasn't in here, but this was my drill sergeant Duplon, and this was drill sergeant Maxwell. Drill sergeant Maxwell didn't care about nothing, y'all. He was so funny, y'all. He was so funny. He was real funny. It's some stuff he used to say all the time. It used to be so funny, bro. But yeah, this was February 15th. See, yeah, so I can't remember what time I left exactly, what day I left exactly, but this was the 15th, so I know we left sometime like I don't know when, but yeah, this is my platoon, some of my battles that I was around. Y'all, this picture is so funny to me. Look at me right there. Let me show y'all me face. If it's not blurred, this is me. Y'all see me? Look at me. Oh, shoot, it's blurred. It's blurred, but that's me right there, front and center, short girls. And then, like I said, people from my platoon had signed it. So as y'all see, I have some signatures. Not everybody, because I really didn't like a lot of those people, y'all. I barely like, let me see. I probably, everybody who said it, I feel like I like them. But a lot of them I did not like. And I remember, see, like, Starks, that was my battle bestie. Sarte, Sailor, Ross, Tablate, Smith, Jennifer. Yes, y'all, I miss some of them. We was all in there together, getting it through together, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of chaos. It's gonna be a lot of yelling. It's gonna be a lot of people getting on your nerves. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of people lying. One thing I'm just gonna say is, being a black girl, we always automatically seen as the aggressive ones. The aggressor will always automatically seen as the problem starters and the problem finishers. I had people who was lying on, like, me and my little friend group, saying that we was trying to jump them, said we was the sharks of the bay. It was just a whole lot, and it was just like, if you get to know us, like, them girls were some of the sweetest females I've ever met, you know. And it's just like, people don't even understand it, because everybody just judges you from the jump. Basically, they judge you based off how you talk or how you present yourself and stuff like that. Shout out to Drill Sergeant Sneed, fellow black woman. She was really informative, and she really, you know, she was messing with everybody, not even just with the black girl. She was messing with everybody. So shout out to her. That's one drill I can remember who was like, she gave me vibes like she really cared type stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Like, it's a lot. I don't want to, this video already like almost an hour, but I'm just trying to inform y'all. Like, I'm trying to think of something else that I can remember, but yeah, that's just basically how he was. And you kind of miss like the people, but I don't miss like basic itself, but I really miss the people at the defect and stuff. Like, it was all decent and stuff like that, but like, it ain't something that I just be like, man, I want to go back and do again. But it's definitely memories, bro. We did plenty of runs, plenty of working out in the cold, just the same thing every day. It's just a repetitive cycle. You go through the same thing every day until you're done, until you get through. Stay tuned for my next video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned and stay ready. I'm going to be talking about my AIT experience. May do another video on basic if I can think of something else, but I kind of pinpointed like the highlights. So I hope y'all like this video. Bye, y'all.